Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Theodore Campbell, one half of Unadulterated You, and I'm here with my partner.
Hey y'all, it's Bianca. We're back again.
Yeah, we got another video for you guys. I guess you noticed that you don't see our faces. We came up with the idea of just doing a talk some of the times. We still gonna do the video where you can see, us, even though it ain't that serious that y'all see us. It's more important than what we're saying. But me and Bianca, we pretty much have busy schedules, and a lot of times we don't have the time to just sit and do an actual video recording. But it pretty much just matters of what we're saying. That's more important.
Yeah. So, let's just go ahead and talk about today's topic, and we will be talking about, just in the light of everything that's been happening in the last few weeks, or even in the last year or so. We want to just kind of talk about what kind of seeds are we sowing, and to be mindful of that. And so, Teddy, you just go ahead and take it away. Let's hear what you got to say about seeds.
Well, as you see in the title, the title of the video is, are you planting the right seeds so that you can live a long life? Now, where I got the idea of this video is, and I got to shout out Hip Hop News Uncensored, because that's where I was watching the other day. And they was interviewing a guy, his name was Dr. Boyce, and he made some very, very good points. And sometimes, it's like we want to point the blame, or we want to talk about what's not going right or what's other people not doing right. But sometimes you have to take accountability for your own life. So he was talking about how the rap industry, you know, a lot of these guys die really, really, really young, whether it's by, gang violence or street violence, or unfortunately, we know about DMX just passing, Black Rob, and Shock G. These guys were all in their 50s. Now, that's not really, really, really young, but that's way too young to be dying.
Exactly. So it's like, and not even that, they really died a lot older than someone like Pop Smoke or what's that guy? XX, I think his name was.
Yeah, XX
And he,
Extortion, something like
whatever his
that.
name
Yeah,
is, I'm sorry not to disrespect him, but
right.
it's a lot of rappers dying really young. Even back a few weeks ago, a rapper died on the interstate in Atlanta. So just thinking about
Yeah, right.
what kind of seeds are really being sold, and so that's where we got to be accountable. Accountability is really big because I did kind of listen in to what you were talking about. Dr. Boyce Watkins was saying, and what I gathered from that is that you should be, at what point? One thing that I heard him say that really stood out to me, he said that it was a mother and the baby had come to the mother and said, change me, like change my diaper. And the mother said, hey, that's when I knew that that baby needed to be potty trained because he was able to come and tell me he needed to be changed. And so that's so true. It's the same thing about when we get to be adults. And this is an ongoing conversation. I have this with, my friends, siblings. This conversation is relevant across the board. That hey, we understand that your childhood may not have been all that you wanted it to be, all you dreamed it to be, but at some point, when you can tell your story or when you can make excuses for, you know, the path that you've taken, then you need to be accountable at that point.
Right. And I'm glad how he used the rappers, because if you really think about it, it's not really just rappers, but we're going to use the rappers because of what's going on lately with all the deaths that we've been having. They're usually a result of toxic lifestyles. Pretty much, these guys, they live like rock stars. Well, I'm not going to just say guys because there's female rappers and singers as well, but they live toxic lifestyles. I mean, they're constantly drinking. They're drinking every day. They're smoking every day, using different kind of drugs every day. gonna go into what kind of food they eat because we're not sure of that. But you're constantly putting this toxic stuff in your body over and over all day, every day. We're gonna just think about sleep patterns because these guys are going to concerts and stuff, maybe not with the coronavirus, but before they go into concerts and then you're at the concert all day, then you go to the after party. So your sleep patterns is messed up, you're not eating right, you're taking drugs. And we know most rappers start the game real young, their 20s, they may be able to handle that. But when you think about years and years and years and years and years of abuse on your body, it catches up to you.
Exactly. And so that, like you said, he used the rappers, and it's so funny because I was listening in to another conversation on Clubhouse, and they referenced um it how artists, they going day after day after day touring, performing, and somebody like Michael Jackson or Prince, who really it didn't have to be necessarily any drug use. What about all the activity and how much, I guess, how much well, I don't even have the word for that, but how much stress you putting on your body when you are performing night after night after night. Not to
Right,
mention the other things that is in your life that's affecting you. So
right,
it doesn't have to be always that it's drugs or alcohol either. I think
right.
anything that is not in moderation can be too much.
Absolutely. Yeah, even the athletes, for the people that know me, I used to drive tour buses and I drove professional athletes. And man, to see how a lot of them walk when they're not on the court, I mean, they're really struggling because I mean, they're constantly beating up their bodies, running up down the court and jumping and doing all these drills. And it pays a toll of them, especially when you see the older athletes who are like retired. They usually walk with a limp and all that. So again, these are the seeds that they planted in their life when they was young, and you're kind of reaping what you sowed.
Yeah, which is true. So um that's what that was one of the points that you wanted to make.
Right. Lifestyle. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So then,
After lifestyle, I would say how you treat people is a big deal because even the Bible say you're supposed to treat people how you want to be treated. So I mean, if you can think back on how many times you've done people dirty and not done right by other people, like we say, you reap what you sow. It does come back. If you don't want to use the Bible, you can use other things because they say it the same exact way. Whether you think it's karma, whether you think it's energy, this stuff comes back.
yeah, it definitely comes back, and it's like it's something to think about to me, that if you
Yep.
can know that whatever, however you treating people, whatever you putting out there ultimately is what you're gonna get back, then you would make better decisions going forward. And so, yeah, definitely use the lives of others, whether they be living or dead. You can look at somebody and say, okay, no, I don't want my seeds or what I'm putting out there to yield this down the line. So to be conscious of that.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
And the last point I was thinking about, I mean, there's many, but we don't want to hold people too long. But the last one I would say is a big one, and that's your words. Somebody, I don't know who came up with that saying back in the day that sticks and stones may break your bones, but your words will never hurt me, something like that. To me, that's an absolute lie.
Yeah, and not and beyond that is that your words. Oh, I'm gonna die. I know this gonna be the end of me. I know this is gonna be the death of me. I know I ain't gonna never come out of this situation, and all those things that you are kind of yielding your attention to is what you will get back. I mean, it's just the truth. It's proof. And if we be mindful that, hey, maybe our current situation right now, maybe it is something that we said, or some even our thoughts before we said it, that got us here, then we can be accountable. Yet again, accountability is a big word because it's all good to make excuses and everything. It's all good to try to say this is the reason why I didn't make it, or this is the so and so is the reason why, or put the blame on something else. But the truth is that's not the reason.
Right. And I hate to keep using the artist as an example, but it's easy to use them because everybody knows who they are and kind of knows their lives. But and I think I told you this, but Bianca, but just notice how many music artists have passed away that have talked about death and a lot in their music. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. Luther Vandross, he had that song talking about he wanted to dance with his father again, but his father was dead. Not trying to be disrespectful, but that's just reality. And some people would say, well, we know what he really meant. He meant he want his father to come back and be alive again. But we talking about a spiritual realm that's not trying to figure out what you mean. You have to say what you mean.
That's
exactly what it is.
That's so big because the other day I was just thinking, and the truth is this: just because we hear about attracting what we putting out there, and we think, oh, long if we think positive or we say positive things, that's what's going to come to us. But nobody acknowledges that when you are thinking negative, or when you choose to focus on that and then speaking negative continuously, cycling those thoughts, don't you think that's going to be attracted to you as well? Anything
Exactly.
that you put out, it's not all positive things that you put out that's going to come back to you. It's anything that you put out that's going to come to you. It will be attracted to you. And even in the Bible, it tells you, if people want to go say, oh, law of attraction isn't biblical, because I didn't even really mention law of attraction. But the truth is that even in the Bible, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Exactly.
That's not the same thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll give you one more example. I could give you plenty in the music business, but I'm going to go off because they'll say, oh, you just picking on celebrities. There's one word that most of us people use all the time, and I'm not trying to be nasty and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but a lot of us like to call ourselves freak or freaks. We freaks in the bedroom. And I'm like, who came up with this term? Because if you really look it up online or the dictionary, a freak is a very unusual and unexpected event or situation, or a person, animal, plant without physical abnormality. So pretty much we would say, oh, being a freak is something to do with the bedroom, but the actual definition of freak is saying that there's something wrong with you.
Well, even
so you constantly keep on saying this over and over and over. I'm a freak. I'm a freak. You mean well, but the spirit realm don't know exactly what you're talking about. It's going by what the actual language is.
And the spirit realm actually does know what you're talking about, but it doesn't matter. You put it out there, so you just get it back. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The spirit realm is that real. Is really what it is. Is that whatever you saying, your words are powerful. When will you be accountable for your words and your thoughts even? So
exactly.
Then you would realize that, oh, my circumstances, my situation, maybe it was by design, my design, that I'm in this situation, that I attracted this person, that I'm going through this and that. Be honest now. And even if you did tie that word freak to the bedroom, some stuff going on that shouldn't be going on if we got to address it, just to be honest.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get for real.
So what we were trying to highlight with this video is that, are we planting seeds in our life to get to the place that we want to go? I mean, even with living a long life, like your Bible says, honor your father and your mother so that your days will be long for you. Do you honor your parents? There's little things that we can do to plant seeds in our life to get our life to the place that we want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we need to be mindful of that. I would encourage you guys to, just think on that, because it's definitely something that I am currently processing for myself, able to witness others pretty much being prophetically speaking, what would be their demise and all that stuff. It's not a blessing that anyone would die, but it is a blessing that you and I and all of us could be living in this time to be able to witness something like that and use it to apply to your own life to better yourself. Because, you know, I know people say, oh, so and so didn't care about dying, they was ready to die and all that stuff. And I feel that. But are you ready to die? Or are you ready to live a low life? Because if you're not, then you need to be accountable for where you stand right now.
That's right. So we thank you for checking out our video. Like we said, we are unadulterated too. And we're not going to do all the videos like this where there's no visual, you can't see us, but we're just going to do videos from here, every once in a while where you don't see our face so that we can put out more content.
Yeah, because we don't want to leave you guys without any content. And again, feel free to comment down below what your opinion is on this subject or what you think about it. How does it apply to your life? We'll be tuning in, kind of watching the comments, seeing what you guys are talking about. We thank everybody who's followed us lately, all of our new followers. We appreciate you guys, and hope you guys continue to tap in, put the notification bell on, subscribe to our channel if you have not, so that you can get our new content when it comes out. Our Instagram page is Unadulterated You, and our Facebook page as well is Unadulterated You. Feel free to email us at unadulteratedyou@gmail.com. And we'll be watching out for you guys. Until next time.
So y'all be blessed. Check you next time.